Good afternoon, everyone, and thank you for spending your lunch hour with us. I am Ahmad, the Program Membership Manager at the Greater Wilkes-Barre Chamber of Commerce, and I would like to welcome you to this week's Wednesday Wisdom. Our Wednesday Wisdom series is a bi-weekly public webinar focused on delivering relevant information to support business connectivity and sustainability in our region. Each session will feature local business and subject matter experts and an opportunity for a Q&A. So bookend your questions and we will get to them at the end of the presentation. So before we get started, I just wanted to go into a few quick details, housekeeping details. I know this is something you guys hear for all of these webinars that are happening throughout. All attendees will be in listen-only mode. If you do have a question, please go ahead and put it in the chat or in the Q&A section, and we will get to it. And to be respectful of every time, we will get to those at the end. This event is also being live streamed on Facebook. For anyone watching on Facebook, please go ahead and put your questions in the comment section, and we will get to those as well. A recording will also be available on our Facebook page and our YouTube pages by the end of the week. So if you find this content very beneficial to you, or you know anyone else that can benefit from this content, please share with them the link for them to get this video. Okay, so let's get started. This webinar is part 2 of our two-part series of our Wednesday Wisdom series focusing on the hospitality industry. If you guys remember, last month we did a Wednesday Wisdom with Rick Sell, who covered the restaurant industry and the changes that they are taking to navigate the COVID-19 pandemic throughout this time. Today's topic will focus specifically on navigating events catering through the COVID-19 pandemic. Our presenter today is from Metz Culinary Management, which was established in 1994 by entrepreneur John C. Metz. And it's a custom dining management service company with a guest-first philosophy, serving a variety of market segments, including healthcare, corporate dining, higher education and independent, and public school dining. We're excited to have with us today the Director of Catering for Culinary Creations, which is powered by Metz Culinary, Kathi Bankes. Kathi has been in the hospitality industry since the age of 12, and I know she'll fill us in a little more about her early beginnings there. We at the Chamber love to refer to Kathi as our catering guru, given her wealth of knowledge in the industry and all of her experience. So without further ado, I'll turn it over to Kathi Bankes.
Hello, everyone. Thank you, Ahmad. I joined the Metz Culinary Management Group over 14 years ago, working in various positions in several locations as bar manager, GM, private event manager, and most recently as the Director of Catering for Culinary Creations. I have been in the food industry for over 50 years. I started out at a mom and pop restaurant as a dishwasher at 12 years old and worked my way up to busser and then as a car hop waitress. I did not wear roller skates. However, I may have dropped a few trays in a few cars. I am originally from Lackawanna County. I have called Luzerne County my home for over 20 years now. I am married to Dave Bankes. I have 3 amazing children and 5 amazing and awesome grandchildren. They are the love of my life. When I am not working, you will find me hosting Sunday dinners and holidays at my house. I love to cook. I love to discover new wines. In my downtime, I read a lot. I spend a lot of time with family and friends, although that has been a little different in the last 6 months. And I am actually teaching myself how to crochet, so we'll see how that all works out. I am so happy to be here today to share some of the things that we have started doing in Culinary Creations to get where we need to get in during this pandemic. I'm going to give you a little overview of Metz. That is who owns Culinary Creations. We are a family-owned and family-driven company. Our corporate office is residing right here in Dallas, Pennsylvania, and we serve, as Ahmad said, many different segments, including restaurants, healthcare, corporate dining, higher education, and independent and public school dining. We have 361 locations, 41 restaurant locations, we are in 21 states up and down the Eastern Seaboard. Been voted number 15 as America's top 50 contract management companies, and we have been voted top 8 of companies to watch, employing 7,073 employees and 1,500 managed employees. We were established in 1994 by John C. Metz, and we are now today led by Jeff Metz. He is our CEO and our president. The Metz Corporation considers every employee to be part of their family. That is so true. We actually have offices in Pennsylvania, Georgia, and Florida now, and we are known for a uniquely personal approach to food service management. Some of the brands in the restaurant side of our business that are under the Metz umbrella are TGI Fridays, Ruth's Chris, Dunkin' Donuts, Chick-fil-A, Lucky's Craft and Food and Drink, and Marlowe's Tavern. Culinary Creations is, actually, I'm here to talk today about how the Culinary Creations has started to change things to get through this pandemic. Catering as we knew it is completely different. Once the pandemic hit, caterers had to become creative, think outside the box, create COVID-safe catering. You will see some of the changes that we have made during this time and moving forward to ensure that gatherings can still be fun and something people look forward to. We all want to be able to still get out and enjoy life. So some of the things you'll see that are different now, catering as we knew it. We're probably never going to see it this way again, but it was great while it lasted and it can only get better. So as we knew it, we saw beautiful dessert tables and self-serve appetizers, gorgeous charcuterie boards that were, just absolutely beautiful that you helped yourself to. Look at these beautiful displays that you just walked up and you cut yourself a piece of brie or you took a piece of cheese off of the display. Our party wall, it was known as so many things. At one point it was a donut wall. It was also a champagne wall. It's going to look a little bit different as we get further down in the slides and see how things have had to make a change. COVID-19 has changed everything, including catered events. Catering as we knew it has changed. Our team has worked together to assure that we have taken all the precautions, followed all the CDC lines, done all our research, trained our staff, created new and innovative ways to bring you a worry-free, fun, safe catering event. Now you will see that there are no more beautiful self-serve display appetizer tables, no more self-serve buffets, self-serve food stations no longer, cocktail hour gatherings at this time are not allowed, and self-serve coffee stations are no longer. What you will see is staff-attended buffets where the staff will serve each guest as they approach the buffet. You'll see staff-attended food stations. The staff will serve each guest again. A lot of times you're going to see small, fully composed plates. Appetizer boxes are going to be a new thing. All appetizers in the box will be in individual covered containers. They'll also include your packaged utensils. Staff-attended coffee stations with disposable cups and lids, individual condiment bags holding your sugar, your stir, and your creamers. You will see sneeze guards in place for stations and buffets from now on. You'll also be seeing hand sanitizer everywhere. It'll be on your buffet, it'll be on your station, it'll be on your tables. Guests will be required to wear a mask when visiting the buffet stations, and etc. Acknowledging the change and formulating our plan. Face-to-face meetings, galas, weddings, social events that drive the catering business, they've been forced to think outside the box. We need to acknowledge and embrace the change. Partner with our vendors to work together to create a safe culinary experience. COVID-19 has created unprecedented losses. Postponed weddings, canceled events, has affected all of us. I don't need to elaborate on this. We have all experienced loss during this time. Unprecedented challenges, we're all facing them, but you know what? We can all do it together. Culinary Creations began creating new procedures around team member and guest safety, adjusting to new patterns in consumer behavior, a new normal moving forward. Priority is safe. Our priority is safe service first and earning the trust of our community. Some of the things that we all should be doing, and Metz is guaranteeing, and I know every caterer out there is making the same guarantees. We need our commitment. We need to make a commitment to each other. we need to make sure what you can expect from caterers right now, and honestly, what you can expect from any food service anybody in the food service industry is that they are maintaining and checking and doing all the things that CDC is requiring. Healthy team members, doing daily temperature checks, social distancing. Obviously, that's just going to continue. Clean areas. I mean, sanitizing all the tables, sanitizing everything that needs to be sanitized. We're sanitizing our trucks, our work areas. Frequent hand washing. Yes, people's hands are actually raw from hand washing, but it is what it is. Protective equipment, obviously, gloves, masks at all times. It's not an option. What we need to expect from our guests when they are booking a catering with us or they are asking us to do an event is that they plan ahead. They know what the menu is, and they know let's just say it is a buffet. They know, okay, I know there's chicken on the menu and I know there's beef. I really don't want the chicken. I'm going to move forward. That is going to help because we have to social distance during these things. So, it used to be that 50 people came up to the buffet line. Now we need to have that 6 foot between. So if you know the menu and you know what you really want, when it's your turn to get up there, because you will be one at a time at a buffet station, you can say, I'm passing the chicken. I do want the beef. I do want that. We are asking people not to congregate. And obviously, they do need to wear a mask when they are approaching any of these tables or displays. Together, we need to keep each other healthy. Our commitment to each other. The health and safety of our guests and team members has always been our first priority and will continue to be. We are committed to ensuring that we are equipped to successfully reinvent the way of catering while strengthening the trust and confidence our guests and team members have in us. We continue to follow the guidelines provided from the Center of Disease and Control and Prevention, CDC, and state and local officials to inform our decisions. Protecting the catering experience. Ensuring team members' wellness, temperature checks, questions before clocking in, sanitizing all areas, practice social distancing, wearing personal protective equipment, and team member training and validation. I can assure you every caterer in the valley, in the country, is doing that. They are making sure that all of their team members are validated and are trained correctly in COVID-safe procedures. The future of catering post-COVID. Assembling catered meals, and you are going to see now so many different things. You're going to see many, many more box lunches. They will be, you'll actually see them at, virtual events. An emphasis on single-use utensils, individually packed portions, enforcing social distancing guidelines will allow guests and employees to feel safe at venues in the future. So what you're going to see is individually packed appetizers and desserts, as opposed to those beautiful displays. They can still be beautiful. They are going to be packed individually. So if you did want to do a beautiful, let's just say you wanted to do bruschetta and crostini, that is probably going to look like the bruschetta being in a small container with a lid and the crostini being on a plate beside it that would be handed to you by a staff member. Boxed meals, again, you're going to see them everywhere. And creative food presentations. This isn't the end of the world. We're caterers. We love to use our creativity. So we are certainly going to be able to still make this food look amazing, because we all know you eat with your eyes first. People want to ooh and ah over what they see. We can still do that and be safe. We're safely serving our guests by grab and go stations. And when I say grab and go, I'm talking a already wrapped item and already an item that's already in a container with a lid that you can actually just walk up to and take. Limited lines. Again, I keep saying it, but it is what it is. We are going to have to do things differently. At one time, you would go to an event and 3 tables would get up and go to the buffet line, or they would just be mingling to go to stations. That is no longer going to be. Right now, and this could change, but right now, a cocktail hour needs to be everyone seated at a table. So with that said, what you can do is you can present everyone with a box of appetizers, which are all done in their own little container, or you can still have stations that are staff attended and release one table at a time and keep those guests 6 feet social distance. And that's easy. That's not as hard as you think it is, because if you have several stations, you can still get through those lines in a really nice manner. You are going to obviously safe serving guests. We are going to see masks and gloves on all of our staff members. You won't be able to see their beautiful smiles, but you will be able to see their eyes. And right now we're all smiling with our eyes. You are going to probably see more hosted live virtual events. And again, that's an opportunity for us as caterers to be able to deliver. If you are a delivery catering, you can deliver box lunches to one area where these people pick them up. You can do beautiful hot meals, composed plates. There is so much opportunity for these live virtual events, and I don't even think we've tapped into half of it yet. I think we're all learning, but we are going to learn together, and we are going to make this the new norm. Examples of actions being taken in some of our other accounts, and we mentioned before that we are in the food service industry and colleges, and this is some of the things that we have done in the colleges. With, as you can see, there is just sneeze guards everywhere. We have all of our safety signs up. Our people are in their masks and their gloves. And this is an example of one of the outside events at Washington and Jefferson College. And they just did everything in individual containers. They had a great time doing that event as well. So we can still have fun as caterers. We just have to do it differently. So prepare for catering events in the future. While the food and beverage industry continues to experience the daily effects COVID-19 brings, it's now more important than ever to look towards the future in a post-pandemic world. Finding options that fit both the business and client's need to find what works to keep catering services clean and sanitary as possible. This is what you're going to see. You're going to see box lunches with everything in there individually wrapped. There will also be, you know, your package with your wrapped silverware, your condiments. This is just the future of catering. I'm sorry. Now, this is an appetizer box. So this is something that we had a call for. We are actually catering the Young Professionals event for the chamber, and it's at a drive-in. So now I had to think, how are we going to do this? We have catered this event in the past, and we did beautiful display tables. Well, we certainly can't do that. So I had to put on my thinking cap. I went to our culinary team and I said, you know, this is what I'm thinking, but I need your help to make it happen. So we had decided that we would do one box. As they drive into the theater, they will get their box of appetizers. And now this box is, we have 15 or 20 different options that you can choose from. This box is an individual charcuterie board, an individual hummus and vegetables. And with that charcuterie is a small container of olives and breadsticks. And then we have our avocado salsa with chips, tortellini salad, and berries with flavor pearls. And as you can see, it all fits in perfectly in the box, along with wet naps and their utensils. So that's just something, that's an example of how we knew we needed to just come up with different ideas, because we clearly could not do what we normally do. And we need to all understand that this is we have to be able to take care of our clients. People still want to have events. They still want to get together in a safe manner. We, as the caterers, need to be able to guide them to that. We need to educate them. This is, you know, okay, I know you wanted to do a beautiful buffet, and we can still do that, but this is how it has to be done. When the chamber approached me for the drive-in, honestly, I was like, oh my goodness, how are we ever going to do this? But then, you know, as I thought about it and as I discussed it with our culinary team, I realized this is actually something fun. I think that people are going to enjoy this. And since that time, we have booked multiple other events with these boxes. So this is something that, you know, all caterers can be thinking of, and I'm sure all of you have other ideas that we can all share together, because at the end of the day, we're all in this together. This was our party wall, as you saw it earlier, and this is post-COVID. So now everything that goes on the wall is in its individual container. This one was done for a 4th of July party, and it was geared towards children. But we have done them now with cookies and miniature desserts and cupcakes, and they're all in their own individual containers. We can do appetizer wall now in individual containers. This wall has been anything and everything. I never thought when we had this wall built, well, now we have multiple walls. When we had this built, it was for a donut wall, which was exciting and fun, and the donuts were put on there and you could come up and get your donut. Well, you can't do that any longer. So then I was like, oh no, we have to retire the wall. And again, went to the culinary team, thought about it, and we realized we don't have to retire the wall. We just have to do it differently. And now you can still have a beautiful, beautiful culinary party wall. And I have to tell you, if you don't own one and you want to rent it, we do rent them. But it is a great, great, it's just a wow factor. People love it. They love going up there and getting their items off of it. So it's something that we are very happy to have, and we've gotten a lot of use out of it, and we didn't have to retire it, and it's so exciting. So right now, I probably spoke a little too fast, because I think we're only 20 minutes into it, but I apologize for my excitement. At this time, all I can say is thank you for joining us. We cannot look back at what we used to be. We have to look forward to bigger and better things. And in the food industry, we have just been hit so hard that we need to all pull together and share our knowledge and help each other. And now it's back to Ahmad. Thank you.
Thank you, Kathy. That was awesome. Again, like I mentioned, a wealth of knowledge, and you know, everyone had to adapt and think outside the box with everything happening here with the COVID-19 pandemic. But you guys actually went inside the box and came up with this great advertising box and started putting everything together, which is genius. And like you said, it's helped you guys to market that to other clients and potential clients, and it seems to be taking off, which is awesome. Super cool. I do have a few questions for you.
Okay.
So I know, I for those who don't know, I used to work at Genetti's in the banquet, and so did Kathy, but we never crossed paths there. And when I first met her and she mentioned that, it was like a slew of other people who I've met and said they've worked at Genetti's. So catering there was fun, and I know you do it not on a specific location. You guys do it everywhere. What is something that you love the most about catering?
What I love the most, there are so many things I love about catering. Actually, I just love the food service industry so much. I mean, I've been in so many different aspects of it, but the catering I absolutely love, because there is never a day that is the same. Never. You never have 2 days that are the same. And you never have 2 events that are the same. We get to use our creativity just constantly. And I love that. I love to sit down with our culinary team and, you know, talk about things. And it's amazing how once we sit down and we start to talk about it, it just becomes so exciting. It's never a day that we say, oh my God, we have to come up with something for this, or we need a new menu for that. There's excitement in it. And the thing I love about it the most is you just meet so many good people along the way. It's almost like getting paid to socialize.
That's great. I think you know, I've always said that working at Genetti's, that you never know what could come up or what can make this day the best, or what really challenges you today. Speaking of challenges, what is the most stressful part for you when it comes to
the most stressful part for anyone in catering, I think, and I could be wrong, but timing. Timing is, I mean, it is everything. You can't deliver too early, because if you do, the food is being compromised. You can't deliver too late, because if you do, the event is being compromised. So that right on time is, you know, until that product is in the building or delivered to where it needs to be, or comes out of the kitchen, It is so stressful. I'm not lying. And I know, you know, Ahmad, it is like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. And then all of a sudden, here comes the food, everything's on time, the event is beautiful. But the problem is, if you are not on time, you're not letting down that client that hired you, you're letting down everyone who has anything to do with that event. So you just need to be, you just need to be organized. You know, in the catering industry, we have such a thing as called a BEO, which is your banquet event order, and it is your Bible. I mean, it has the time you need to be ready, the time you need to leave, the time it needs to be set up. So timing, that to me is the most stressful part of catering.
Definitely timing. I always say, when I was there at Genetti's and doing catering and banquet work, that always plan for things to go wrong so you have that backup, but then you have that time for when things do initially go wrong.
Yes.
And you're ready for it.
The trick to that is things go wrong all the time, but you need to make sure that you're the only one that knows it. So, you know, you don't want your client to see you frantically running through a building. You know, you may be walking at a fast pace, but I always say, unless this building is on fire, I don't want to see anybody running frantically.
Awesome. I think I have two more questions here for you. You mentioned a lot of the great things that caterers can do to adapt to these changing times. What are some challenges that you see that caterers can face in today's new reality?
I think the challenges right now, and I'm sure this is going to get better, but the challenges right now for caterers as well as restaurants, as well as food service, are supplies. I mean, product is not always available like it used to be. Like your wrapped silverware, your to-go containers, you know, maybe you ordered, you know, a certain kind and you get something else because you're getting what you get. So you're always having to adjust. Just like we are doing those appetizer boxes. You know, when I decided to do them, I had to make sure that many containers would fit in the box. So I measured them out, put the order in, and lo and behold, I couldn't get all the ones I wanted. So I was back to square one. It's the same thing with your food supplies. You know, they're not always readily available anymore. So it used to be I could say to someone that was doing a catered event, oh, you can change up until the day before. That's not a problem, but that's not the reality any longer. You know, we need a little bit more lead time, just because we want to make sure that we have the product, because we can't always get it at the last minute like we used to be able to.
Got it. That's a great point. Last thing here, and then I'll let you give some closing tips if you do have any, before we say goodbye to the end of this session. But was Culinary Creations able to stay open during the pandemic? And what did that look like on your guys' end?
Well, Amma, I can honestly tell you I did not have one day off during the pandemic. So we actually were very, very busy. We had several nursing homes that hired us to supply box lunches for all of their staff every day. So that was a 7-day-a-week delivery that we were doing to multiple locations. We also did all of the catering at the COVID testing site. So we had 3 different locations that we were delivering to for them, breakfast, lunch, and dinner 7 days a week. So we were able to keep on so many of our staff, and as well as myself. So we were extremely busy during that time. We were very, very fortunate.
Awesome. Now, any parting tips? Anything that you just
My
want?
parting tips are, if you're booking an event, try to understand that things are not what they used to be. Let your caterer educate you and guide you. That's what we're here for. We're never going to steer you wrong. And everyone just needs to work together and know we are not this pandemic has taught us so much, and it's only going to teach us more. And it's a new wave. We have to be ready for it. And I think we all working together can make that happen.
Thank you. Thank you so much for your time. It doesn't look like we have any other questions. I'm checking the Facebook feed and such. right now.
Thank you. I enjoyed it, and I hope that we helped in some way. If anybody had any, if I hope someone has something that they got out of this. That was the goal.
Yes, yes, indeed. Thank you for bestowing your knowledge upon us.
Thank you.
I want to thank everyone for taking the time to tune into this session. We did record this Wednesday Wisdom, as I mentioned at the beginning, and it will be available on our Facebook and our YouTube pages for you to have access to in the future. Stay tuned to our Facebook pages or sign up for our newsletter to get any updates on future Wednesday Wisdoms, as we hope to tackle topics that are necessary during these times or anything that you'd like to learn about. If you think you know something or know of a topic that you would like us to find an expert to get that information to you, please email us at events@wilkes-berry.org, and then we'll make sure and find local experts to get that information for you. Thank you again for joining us, and until then, we'll see you next time.